Week 2 Overview. This video will give you an overview of what to expect and what to complete in Week 2. Let's get started with the Week 2 module. We will click into the Week 2 introduction first. As we begin Week 2, it is very important to understand the income statement and how it relates to the balance sheet. The balance sheet is going to give us a snapshot in time of what is owned or the company assets, what is owed, the liabilities or the debt of the company, and what is left over. Here we see it referenced to as net worth, book value, and we'll also see it referenced as owner's equity. Learning how to read and understand a balance sheet can be tough because there is so much information in each line, but that's why they're so important. Many of the ratios and figures that analysts use when discussing a company's financial health are calculated from the balance sheet. This week, we are going to become familiar with the types of accounts found on each financial statement, as well as how to prepare a set of financial statements. We will also take a deeper look into what is included in the financial statements and why each are important. We are going to look at the income statement, the statement of equity, and the balance sheet. You will apply this information in the Week 2 assignment. Later, we will talk about the statement of cash flows in more details. There is a discussion board this week, which will discuss ethical implications in accounting and finance. And the last thing for the week, you will be submitting your team plan for your project. This will detail out who is doing what and when it should be completed. For Week 2, the objectives or learning outcomes. At the end of the week, students will know and be able to first explain how different business formations are accounted for in a balance sheet, and then be able to discuss how merchandising companies handle sales on an income statement. Be sure to review all readings and resources provided in this module. The textbook reading for this week includes chapters 3 and 4. It is also very important to review this PowerPoint slide presentation titled Financial Statement Basics. The first video is also critical to complete this week's assignment. It is called How to Prepare a Common Size Income Statement and will walk you through an example of how to actually prepare one, which you will do in the Week 2 assignment. There are some additional videos and articles provided here. One is a vertical analysis, there's a video for horizontal analysis, and finally there is a video discussing the 4 different types of audit opinions and what they mean. As we look at our first assignment, it is the Week 2 discussion board. For this discussion board, you will read the case presented and then answer the question. Your initial response answering the question should be completed by end of day Thursday. Then, by end of day Sunday, you should respond to 2 peers' responses. When we look at the next assignment, the Week 2 assignment, the first thing I'd like to point out is that it does look like it's a quiz. However, it is simply an assignment. In Canvas, the only way to set up an auto-graded assignment where it gives you feedback immediately is using the quiz function. But as you'll notice, for this assignment, there is no time limit. You have the full week to do it, and you are going to be able to use any notes and resources that you have. So for this assignment, there are 3 types of problems, and we'll show you more details shortly. In the first set, you're going to classify accounts into either assets, liabilities, equity, revenues, and expenses, and then tell which financial statement you will find each account on. For the second set, you will create an income statement, statement of owner's equity, and a balance sheet from a set of numbers provided, and then answer the questions that follow. You will refer to the Financial Statement Basics PowerPoint for that question. The last set, you will be preparing a common size analysis on a brief income statement and then entering your answers in the spaces that are provided. Let's take a look at it. Again, for the first few questions, the first 10, you are identifying what type of account that is listed, and then which financial statement it goes on. So that is questions 1 through 10. Then the next set, it gives you some financial information, and you are to prepare an income statement, statement of equity, and a balance sheet using the resources that have been provided to you. Then you will answer the questions that are below related to those. Finally, you are going to be provided you are being provided an income statement, which you will use to create a common size income statement. The video in the resources section will walk you through how to do that. You will then enter those answers in the spaces here. The really important thing is to make sure that you follow instructions. It says here, only enter the number, not the percentage sign. Remember, for rounding purposes, you are to take it out 1 decimal place and follow the rounding rules where if it's 5 or higher, it rounds up. If it's 4 or lower, it stays the same. That's what you will be looking at for assignment 2. Then, the final assignment is the week 2 team project. So in week 1, your teams were assigned and you chose a company for your team to analyze. This week, you're going to develop a plan for completing parts 3 and 4 of the project. Only 1 team member is required to submit your plan, but also should participate in creating it. You should use your group discussion to decide who is doing which part. The project plan should include planned completion dates for the various subsections of the report and who was responsible for the different questions in the project. I do not advise assigning sections as a whole because some sections have more work than others, so you need to look at what is included in each section and then decide who is doing it. It is advisable that 1 or 2 members of the group take responsibility for the final editing of the completed project. You should always set deadlines for each other to allow time to review, edit, and ensure the formatting follows APA requirements. For this assignment, you are permitted to use the 6th or the 7th edition. Teams should also consider including a statement about expectations for the team members regarding timely completion of assignments, how to notify each other about missed meetings or deadlines, and things like that. Please note, in week 7, you will be asked to evaluate the plan that is submitted after the project is complete and include comments on how well you complied with the plan and anything you would have done differently with respect to completing and coordinating the project. You will also be evaluating your team members' participation and completion of their assigned sections. So complete participation is expected by each team member. If you agree to do something, you need to follow through and ensure that it is completed. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I want you to be successful, and if you have questions, we are here to help.